Who will have the bigger leap statistically next season, Devin Vassell or Keldon Johnson?
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Kens 5 San Antonio. Happy Friday. Hopefully y'all are wrapping up your work week, getting ready for a great, relaxing weekend. But before you get there, we got to talk some silver and black. And we're going to put into spotlight Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell. Both guys are likely to see a bulk of the touches next season. There's a lot of perhaps expectations heaped on them as the team begins its deep rebuild. But which one is likely to have the bigger leap as the season continues? Also, is there anybody else that we're missing? Perhaps there's somebody else out there on the roster that could have a big leap as well. And get ready, another fan giveaway prize little bundle here on Locked On Spurs. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned to hear how you can win it and what you will be winning if you are selected. So good luck to you on that. Stay tuned for that. Who is joining me? He is back, but it's so weird because before we hit record button, we were talking about this. It feels like he's been away for a while, and yeah, he has, but at the same time, it doesn't. I guess he's just, you're here so much, Casey. It feels like you're just have a permanent fixture here. And walk in, it's like you're in the other room watching TV at the house, and we forget that you're watching TV, and then you kind of walk in to get a snack. We're like, oh, hey, there, Casey, what's going on? And that's what it felt like.
Well, I guess I'm back watching. I walked away from my Netflix for a little while, so I'm back.
He is Casey Viera, my colleague over at Kens 5. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at Casey_Viera and check him out holding it down the fort on the sports side of things for Kens 5 News. But how you been, man?
Business as usual.
Same old.
Yeah, you know how it is. This time of year. Slow Spurs, football getting ready, and hot in San Antonio.
By the way, it's not that I didn't forget you. It's just there's nothing to talk about, Casey. There just really isn't.
It's all right. I felt bad.
I know you did. I felt bad before I hit record button.
Like we always say, bring forward lunchbox season of this time of year.
You know what, Casey? It's so dry. Not even that is being. I can't even find anything like that. Unless you want to talk about Joe Wieskamp selling his Iowa gear. That's there.
We're going to talk 40 minutes about that.
No, but I'm going to bring it up again later on because I got to fill time. So just a heads up. All right. Well, let's go to dive into this episode of Locked On Spurs. So, Casey, deep rebuild time. It's here. It's going to start in a few more weeks. Until then, all eyes are seemingly, or I guess I should say maybe a storyline could be like, okay, well, DeJounte's gone. So who's up next? Who will be that leader? Who will be that guy at least trying to get some W's on the court, whether it be rebounding, scoring, blah, 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 the good stats. And the likely candidates are Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell. KJ got paid a hefty sum. Devin Vassell, he's still on that rookie contract, but he'll be looking to get a hefty pump in pay sooner than later. Nevertheless, these two guys are front and center for the Spurs. I got to ask you, which one do you think will have the bigger statistic leap next season?
I think they're both going to have big leaps. I do. And a big reason why is volume. I don't want to say the overriding reason, but I think it's the volume by default, kind of the same reason we saw, not the same reason, but a big reason we saw DeJounte take such a big leap from last year to this year. Well, I guess 2 years ago now to this past season.
2 years ago, yeah.
But if it were up to me, if I had to choose, I would probably say Keldon. Mainly because the spot that he's going to really have to step up be put into, is that of, I guess, more, I don't want to say priority, but for the context of that roster as the top guy, I think he's going to get the first real crack at being the top guy based off what we've seen from him up to this point, and seen from him offensively as well, and how things have continued to grow and his game has continued to grow and get better and better. I think from a statistical standpoint, I think I'd probably have to go
Right.
Keldon on that front. On the Vassell side of things,
Mm-hmm.
I think that all the way around, it'll be something comparable, but maybe not to the level, because he's probably not going to get, I guess, that aggressive of a look initially. You would think,
Mm-hmm.
at least. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. This is me watching from, a ways away. But right now, at the moment, I'm probably leaning towards the Keldon Johnson side of that argument.
As the season moves on, I actually think it's going to be Vassell.
Yeah.
Maybe not initially, because I think they're going to really try to push KJ into that, front and center role. But I think as the season moves on, I could see Vassell starting to have his leap maybe after the All-Star break or right before it.
Right.
Because if you looked at last season, or look at that play-in game, it was Vassell that really was trying to at least get that team a win to advance in the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
It wasn't DeJounte, it wasn't Keldon, it was him. He got a lot aggressive towards the end of the season on both ends of the court. And what I liked about him is that, to me, he looks like he presents more. He to me, he's more of a complete two-way player. So maybe
He
KJ
impacts
may
the
have
game in more ways. I think that
right.
gets more impact in more
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, he impacts it in more ways, and I think if you accumulate that all, I think sure, maybe KJ is going to average. I'm making this up, 20 points per game. But then you look at his rebounding, okay, like 4 to 5, and assists 1.2 or something like that. But then you go, okay, but then you look at the other side, you see Vassell, okay, maybe 17 points per game, but 6 rebounds and 3 assists per game and 2 steals. I think I could see that path for Vassell. And then at the end of the season being like, oh, it was actually Vassell who had the better impact. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, I think that was the other end of the argument. I was thinking about but I didn't want to contradict myself, because I do think I'm along the same lines as you. Is that I think altogether cumulative numbers. I think statistically you'll see probably in the point scoring area. I think Keldon will have more points per game, and he'll probably have more exaggerated. I guess I don't want to say inflation because it sounds so contradictory, but for the sake of the conversation, more dramatic inflation, so to speak. But I think Devin Vassell will impact the game in more ways, have a bigger impact on the game in more ways, even if it's not statistically. Primarily because Devin Vassell is just a better player on the other side of the floor, as Keldon Johnson is.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if Vassell can capitalize, I guess, on the growing opportunities that he's going to have, maybe not to the extent that he's putting up 20 a night, close to like Keldon. I think you're going to see that being a gradual thing as well. But on the numbers side of things, at least from the scoring front, I think Keldon's the guy of two who probably makes that jump this year.
I ask you, how much is the fact that the team lost to DeJounte Murray going to impact these two guys? Not really a pair of players, at least right now. We'll definitely see in a few weeks that can create their own shot. Maybe Vassell can, but DeJounte was the best distributor for the team, and he's gone. And all signs are pointing to Trey Jones perhaps getting the starting nod, which I think would be good. But then the drop off is, as of now, is Primo or Blake Wesley. How much do you think the fact they lost an all-star guard is going to hurt these two players, or maybe not at all?
I think it's going to hurt. I think it's going to hurt. Those scoring numbers are going to go up, but the shooting percentages are going to go down. And part of that's inevitable of any player who gets more volume. But for as much as the recency bias of how much, of how people are feeling about DeJounte these days, we'd be silly not to acknowledge the fact that DeJounte was still pretty good at what he did. And DeJounte was still pretty good at getting to the basket and and being able to facilitate from those tough spots, the driving kicks and stuff like that. And I put a lot more eggs in the basket of DeJounte Murray being able to do that and facilitate, as opposed to Trey Jones or Joshua Primo being able to have that same kind of impact on the game. And I think that's where things kind of get dicey when you talk about growth and volume a little bit like that. Is you're going to really see, especially Keldon, you're going to really see how much he has grown, or will be tested to see how much he has grown in some of the scoring situations this year, because there's going to be a lot more one-on-one opportunities where the ball is going to be put in his hands. And Pop says, you know what, we need a bucket. Go get it. Not saying that you're the guy necessarily qualified to get it, but we don't really have another choice. This is on you now. We don't have DeJounte over here to facilitate and find you camping out in the corner, knocking down a three or something like that. This is on you now, buddy. Go for it. Whether he does that, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there were flirts that we saw last year every now and then where we saw him 18 feet backing up to the basket, hitting a turn and fade. And we're like, whoa, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, the overriding point, losing DeJounte is going to hurt. Absolutely.
We're not done talking about this topic and more. When we get back, we're going to wrap up our thoughts. KJ Vassell, who's likely to have a bigger leap? Is there somebody else on the roster that we're not seeing that could be that dark horse player to take a leap? And also, don't forget, stay tuned. We're going to be giving away a free prize. You're going to love it. It's Spurs gear. So keep your ears perked up on how to win that prize. But before we do that, first of all, I want to thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts. I want to talk to you about BetOnline. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your sports betting needs. Find your favorite sports and events at the number one online source for odds, lines, and games. Look, you can find reviews and news of every league from MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, even golf. Hey, if you love esports, the NBA 2K League 5v5 tournament is here. Just started yesterday, or actually a couple of days ago. So you want to put some money on that, go to betonline.net. It continues to be the top online resource for all your sports wagering information, from live in-game betting, scores, and podcasts. They got you covered. Head to BetOnline today. Use your mobile device to learn more about the action happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts. We're back with Casey Viera. He is with Ken's 5 News. Follow him on Twitter at Casey_Viera. And we're taking a look at Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, or maybe somebody else who could possibly have a big leap next season. I'm expecting Casey Viera to have a big leap when the Spurs season begins, because this team's in a rebuild and it's like all hands on deck. So you might get some minutes with the Spurs, Casey.
Wait, well, sorry, I was laughing. What was that?
Just saying, with the Spurs in a deep rebuild, you might get some burn too. They may say, hey, throw them out there. Yeah.
I mean, listen, if Vic is the goal here, I mean, I know the guy. I know the perfect guy if you're trying to get Scoot Henderson. I know the perfect dude to run the point.
His just what's your size jersey? You like a medium? A medium, maybe?
Medium. Extra medium. I like to wear it like Tatum. I like to wear it like Tatum does.
All right. When we're talking about KJ and Vassell and who likely can have a bigger leap, and you lean towards KJ, I lean towards Vassell as the season progresses. But is there somebody else maybe on the roster you look at it as of now and say, you know what, maybe this guy might take advantage of this rebuild and shoot up his numbers next season?
I mean, you could really make the case for just about anybody, I think, based on volume of what it is, comparatively speaking, to the volume of what they got last year. If I had to, I'm probably going Primo. Probably going Primo on that front, because, I mean, those opportunities are going to be there. Absolutely. They're going to be there. And whether or not it's overly aesthetically pleasing as to how that leap looks, I mean, he's certainly the guy that the short answer of a guy who's going to take the next step. I think he's the short answer, the immediate answer of how to do that. But elsewhere, really outside of that, it's just kind of like I feel like you can really say like everybody has an acceptable answer, but everybody is kind of, it doesn't necessarily mean it. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
Like reversing the trajectory of the way things are going right now, right?
But then it also feels like we're just use KJ and Vassell as an example. So Vassell, he has like this great leap, good numbers. But it feels like maybe do we hang an asterisk with it? Being like, well, the Spurs were on a rebuild, so well, get back to me, next season if they get a cornerstone player. I just feel that it might be some empty calories there. But look, they got to start somewhere, and if it means getting Vassell on track to upping his numbers or KJ upping his numbers, and who knows, up them numbers too to still flip them, KC, because I think it's safe to say you're the opinion too that even in this rebuild, not even KJ or Vassell are untouchable.
Nah, nobody is. No, nobody is. I mean, I think even pre-DeJounte trade, that was the sentiment we all had, was that everybody's fair game. The Spurs roster is built of primarily a bunch of good, nice rotational players, but not really anybody you would consider past the fourth option offensively. Nobody. All right. Let me take that back. With DeJounte is a number 3 option offensively,
right?
But that was the consensus of what it was. So I mean, I'm still in the same boat. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that changes anything.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think these guys are still flippable. I mean, we thought that KJ was here. I'm sorry, DeJounte was here for the long haul. Gets that contract extension, then whoopsie, he's gone. So this is a different mindset for this team. This is they're trying to find their way to get back to glory. And if it still means flipping either Vassell or KJ, so be it. KJ had him. I mean, if DeJounte had himself an all-star season, and still flipped him, and he was the lone all-star. Now the Spurs are back to having no all-stars on the roster. I'm with you too. I look up and down the roster. It's hard for me to point to a guy that's going to have a big leap. I think Jakob is Jakob. He is what he is at this point of his career. You shouldn't expect more unless he's miraculously just develops a 3-point shot, but I doubt that. Primo is the candidate. Maybe Trey Jones. Maybe. Because he's going to be thrusted into that point guard spot. Wieskamp, no. Richardson, no. I mean, I don't even know if any of these guys will still be a Spur by a trade deadline. So,
right. And then
it's really, it's really, really tough to gauge. But yeah, this is a rebuild, and this is what a rebuild looks like. It's this team trying to find their way, trying to find who's going to be the next, do they have a flippable player that can net them a haul as they saw with DeJounte and whatnot. But are you agree with Vegas though? The Vegas projects them at 23 to 24 and a half win season. I've had fans say they're expecting less, like 19, 18 wins next season.
My first run through on the schedule, I had them at 26 and 56. So if you want to say, I disagree with Vegas, I guess. The overriding sentiment that they're going to win less than 30 games. I'm certainly close to that. Yeah.
I got them right around what Vegas projects them at 20, 23, 24, 25 in that area. I got them in there. You got to think that the Spurs are going to be the team to have unload management games for some of these teams, even if it's midseason, even if it's early season. You expect that they're going to do stupid things on the court. The Spurs are, to maybe just fall into a win, by taking advantage of a team that's just sleeping on the Spurs for a night. So I think there's all that factor. I don't think they will. I mean, a 19 win, 18 win season, as some fans are projecting, I just can't see that. I can't. But
no, that's not.
Hey, but hey, it's more L's for Wemby, so I'm pretty sure Spurs fans are going to be loving that. But yeah, we definitely want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Keldon versus Vassell? Are they going to just pretty much be on the same path as far as upping their stats across the board as season projection? Or is one going to really overtake the other? Or is there somebody else that we need to know that you think we are not looking at? You can let Casey know on Twitter at Casey_Viera. Let me know on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. When we get back, we're going to talk some Spurs news and notes and much, much more. All right, we're back with Casey Viera right here on Locked On Spurs, where he's stretching his calf muscles and getting limber for the next Spurs season because he's going to walk on and the Spurs are going to let him join because they got to get more L's than W's. Good job, Casey.
33 years young, baby. Let's go. Vet min.
All right. Casey, do you like giving away things to Spurs fans? You make them smile.
Love it.
They want something. You love
the
it.
main reason I come on this show. Main reason.
I'm expecting everybody to tweet at me like, finally, Casey's back, our guy. I've had in the past fans DM me asking when you're gone for a while, say, when is Casey coming back? So surprise, everybody, Casey's here. On a good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or I'm not on. You guys beefing? Like what? Like, man, man can't take a vacation over here. Like the hell?
Yeah. Casey has a life that's bigger than just Locked On Spurs. Everybody, he has a wife, he has a dog, he has a job. So yeah, I try to work with all our guests here on the time wise. But let's get back to the point here. What you're probably listening to right now is giveaway. Yes, for the last 2 weeks, Locked On Spurs has been giving away prizes to one lucky Spurs fan. A couple weeks ago, Casey, it was a VIP package from My Santico San Antonio.
Very nice.
Yeah, that fan, his name was Angel Gutierrez. He got 4 VIP tickets, 2 free popcorns, 2 free sodas to any movie he wants to go to. No questions asked, not even to premieres. So He got set up. Also, last week, another fan won a free Mudslingers San Antonio Coffee House package. Included a coffee card, a cap, and a t-shirt. He picked it up. So if you missed out on the last 2 prizes, you're not out of luck. You got one right now. So what is the prize? Well, first of all, I want to thank Bear County Apparel Social. He kindly donated a Spurs cap, Casey, and a Spurs t-shirt. Now, have you seen those fans that kind of make their own custom Spurs gear?
I do. They do a fantastic job in the Spurs community.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's one of them, and he decided that he would love to help out Spurs fans get ready for next season. The baseball cap is kind of a trucker's cap, Casey. All black, Spurs Fiesta colors. It says SAS on it, so it's there. Just go to my Twitter timeline. You'll see a picture of it. And then the other item is a t-shirt, and it's a mock-up of the Alamo Dome court because the Spurs are going to play in the Alamo Dome. I take that back. No, I'm sorry. No, it is a picture of Keldon Johnson dunking it, and then on the t-shirt it says "Party like 1990s." So you're definitely getting fans ready for the big game. But how are you going to win that? That's what you're probably listening to right now. So here's what you got to do. So you got till the end of day this coming Sunday. So if I don't hear anything by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll call off the contest, and hopefully we got a lot of entries. So all you have to do is be the first Spurs fan to tweet at me, Jeff G Spurs Zone, and Bear County Social. Let them know they are found at. Let me get you that real fast for you here. You can tweet at them at Bear BEXAR Apparel APPAREL. Tweet at both of us and say, give us your favorite Spurs Alamo Dome moment, and also got to let everybody know too that I provide the best Spurs coverage anywhere in San Antonio and beyond. So simple enough. I'll go over one more time. Tweet at me, Jeff G Spurs Zone, and at Bear County Social Apparel. Let me get that right. At BEXARAPPAREL. Tweet us your favorite Alamo Dome Spurs moment and let everybody know that I provide the best Spurs coverage across San Antonio. Do it now. Simple as that. And you get yourself a free baseball cap and a free t-shirt. But back to Spurs business here on Locked On Spurs. So, Casey, about Joe Wieskamp, Did you see that he's selling his Iowa gear? And I got to ask you, do you think a hardcore Spurs collector would go for that and buy that stuff?
Define hard. I think it
I'm
depends
talking
how.
about I'm talking about that collector that has to have every iota of black and silver stuff. Because
Oh,
I don't know if
absolutely.
I don't know if you ever seen if you saw his shop, his online shop, Wiescamp's. He's not trying to price gouge anybody. Like he's selling game worn Nike KD's autograph for like $200, just basically base price with his autograph.
Huh.
Shooting shirts from Iowa, shorts from Iowa, anything Iowa related, he's selling. And by the way, proceeds do go to the Methodist or the Methodist Hospital in Iowa. So,
Huh.
I might try those sneakers. I might go for them. They don't fit me, but I just to have something like that.
I was gonna say, I was like, you ain't getting them because they fit.
That's for sure.
Buying them for the fit, that's for sure.
But yeah,
you're dropping $200 on Joe Wieskamp used shoes.
I know. Why do you put it like that for?
I was gonna say, let's say that out loud.
I just did, and I might retract what I just said right now.
I mean, he seems like a nice guy. You know, I mean, I view it more as how much do you feel like donating to Methodist Hospital, and as a result, you get Joe Wieskamp's shoes back. I think that's the way you have to look at it.
Exactly. So if you definitely want to get your hands on some game worn Iowa gear from a Spur, Joe Wieskamp, make sure to go to kens5.com/Spurs. All the information is there. I got to get your opinion on this. I found out, by the way, it was the number one story for the day when it came out 2 days ago on Ken's 5 Digital. Did you see what the second ticket market is charging for pre-sale tickets to the Alamo Dome? Casey, did you see that?
Several dollars.
You can afford that because I hear you rolling in dough, but I mean, for the common man, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, what? Talk to me. Well, I saw the headline. I just kind of, I just kind of used my assumption. The secondary market. What was this looking like?
So for a pair of tickets, it's going to cost you on StubHub. That is over $1,600 for pre-sale.
Where?
Exactly, on the nosebleeds. Yeah, in the nosebleeds.
Are we sitting on Pop's lap? Like what?
No, we're not sitting on Pop's lap. Oh, it gets even better. So if you want to be a little bit more reasonable and maybe go a few more rows higher in the Alamo Dome, one ticket will cost you over $300 on the secondary market.
Yeah, I'm waiting until those bad boys hit. I'm waiting until those bad boys come out for everybody else.
Maybe Casey can buy some of those tickets and generously donate them for the next Locked On Spurs giveaway because he's that much of a baller, everybody.
Oh my God, don't need to stop.
But if you want to see those outrageous secondary market ticket prices, go to kensvi.com/Spurs. I have to highlight that, Casey, because apparently, I got to ask you, does anybody read anymore? I got so much Twitter hate for me supposedly spreading fake news about Spurs ticket prices because supposedly they're not even on sale, Jeff. The Spurs haven't even released them yet. I'm like, this has nothing to do with the Spurs ticket staff department. This is just about the secondary market.
Spurs ticket department person who said that?
Well, he was one of them.
Oh, one of? So
yes.
Multiple?
There were multiple. There was one Spurs ticket official with the team seller, which was this Spurs ticket guy, and then several fans that accused me of spreading fake news because they didn't read carefully that it was the secondary market. And apparently, even though they accused me of fake news, they failed to click on it to see the screen grabs that I took of the prices. So how could it be fake if I have it straight from the website?
Well, I mean, that goes to show you people never read the articles anyway.
They never do. But
they never do.
Kudos to the Spurs official ticket seller box office guy because he did apologize. He did say he was sorry. He said he didn't read that right correctly.
Okay.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. We good then. We're good.
We're good. By the way, are you going to go to the Alamo Dome game?
I've been operating under that assumption. Yeah. I mean, that's a work night for me. So, that's right. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll be there.
I will definitely be there as well. I cannot miss that game. I'm going to operate that as a work function too for Kens 5 Digital. So,
hey, man.
All good, baby. There we go.
You might. Hey, listen.
You
might not have a choice. You might not have a choice that day.
Oh no, not that.
We're the home of the Spurs. We're the home of the Spurs. That just finalized. We're back. Ken's back for I don't know. I don't know how many years. What, 20-something?
Yeah, 20-something.
Long standing.
So we're back.
Yeah.
Again. So, yeah. Expect Casey and me there at the Alamo Dome next season for that big game against the Warriors. Hopefully, fans will pack the dome. I think isn't that what they're gunning for? They really, the team really wants to break the attendance record. I mean, that's the highlight of the upcoming season, Casey. Breaking an attendance record.
Listen, you
got it.
It is what it is.
And on that note, we're done talking. We want to hear from you. What do you think about, again, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell? Which player was going to have the bigger leap statistically? Is there somebody else that we may have missed that you see that could also see a spike in his production? And what do you think about, well, some of the Spurs news we went over? Will you be at the Alamo Dome to pack the dome next season? Are you going to be getting some Joe Wieskamp signed Iowa gear? We got to know. Look, everybody, it's the off season, okay? Give us a break here at Locked On Spurs. And once again, you don't forget that fan giveaway contest. Got till Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern, to be the first to let me know that you heard how to win and make sure you did it right. None of this, hey, I want the gear. We listed to you how to do it, so you know what you have to do. Casey, what's going on over there in your neck of the woods?
High school football, regular football, UTSA. What else? Football. Everything before Spurs. Just 1 month, September. It's all football from here on out. So, yeah, Fridays.
Football. Yeah, football's big in San Antonio, let alone Texas.
It is. UTSA is going to be good this year. On the topic of the Alamo Dome, UTSA is going to be real good this year. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's that time. September 3rd, 2 weekends. Yeah, next weekend, yeah. September 3rd, ready?
Right here. August is gone. It's done.
August, yeah, they blinked, man. Yeah, so season opener next weekend.
And make sure to check out Casey on your television set at Kens 5 News. He holds it down every weekend on the sports side of things. So check him out. Subscribe to Locked On Spurs wherever you get your favorite podcast: Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, the Kens 5 Plus app, and many other places. And for your second listen, check out Locked On NBA. All NBA news in 30 minutes. Maybe they'll highlight the Joe Wieskamp, Iowa. So,
hey, man.
I doubt
it. Time of season.
All right. So for Casey Viera, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.